Let's think about what we've seen over the past few days. We found out about China's spy base in Cuba, and Chinese hackers reportedly broke into the networks of hundreds of public and private sector organizations globally. Oh, and before that, they launched a cyber attack on the U.S. Navy. We learned Vladimir Putin has moved nuclear weapons into Belarus, and Iran's oil exports hit a 5-year high, according to Reuters. What possibly could that fund? Its nuclear program, perhaps? Yet, here we are, with an aimless commander-in-chief and a Pentagon focused on all the wrong things. They aren't even trying to hide it anymore. The U.S. military is now on record saying that those who object to the sexual mutilation of children are a danger to national security, and it'll hurt our military readiness.
Since January of this year, more than 400 anti-LGBTQ plus laws have been introduced at the state level. That number is rising and demonstrates a trend that could be dangerous for service members, their families, and the readiness of the force as a whole. When I look at potential candidates, I also look at their personal circumstances. If a good match for a job does not feel safe being themselves, or if their family could be denied critical health care due to the laws in that state, I am compelled to consider a different candidate and perhaps less qualified.
Joining me now is retired Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Davis, Senior Fellow and Military Expert for Defense Readiness. Colonel Davis, what the hell is going on in the military here? I thought we want the best and the brightest. I don't care about your sex, your sexual preference, your race, your religion, your color. I don't care about any of those things. Shouldn't the military just want the best to serve this country and defend this country?
That is 100% the case. It shouldn't matter any of those things. I mean, we spent so many years trying to get any kind of racism or anything else out of the force, and I can assure you, from the 20 years that I was in the service, that we made a lot of great progress on that. That people really did care about how effective and good you were and competent in your job. But now then, we seem to be from the very top elevating things that are not related to compassion capabilities, and it's a little disturbing, frankly, that that quote there you just had from the general, that she overtly said that I would consider someone who's less qualified over someone else, and we just can't have that if we want to have the best military that we can.
And if you look at the rising threat of China, how dangerous is that mentality in the military?
Well, look, it's divisive, I think, is the real problem, because you're basically pitting one side against another. And this has been going on for quite a number of years. And this is not a way to create cohesion. And cohesion is actually a combat force multiplier and necessary for effective use in combat operations.
Well, I'm sorry, you're thinking about, these cultural wars. You're thinking about global warming. You're not thinking about the risks that this country faces that are serious and rising. But, Colonel, here's what Putin said today about nuclear weapons. Watch this.
The fact is that we have more such nuclear weapons than the NATO countries. They know about it, and all the time we are being persuaded to start negotiations on reductions. The hell with them, as our people say. Because in this case, in the language of economic terms, this is our competitive advantage.
Lieutenant Colonel, your reaction?
Yeah, look, I mean, this is really exposing one of, I think, a real problem that we have right now with U.S. policy as it relates to the war in Ukraine, is that we don't really know for sure what we're trying to accomplish or what's going to make something good for the United States. For example, we want to say that, yes, we're going to support Ukraine for as long as it takes, but Ukraine's objective is to completely drive Russia out of Ukraine and drive them out of Crimea. Putin, in that same speech, also said that he would not use nuclear weapons unless his territorial integrity was threatened. So if we actually accomplish what Biden said he's trying to do, that would raise the threat of nuclear warfare to unacceptable highs. And we have to look out for American national interests first and foremost, and then we can help Ukraine around the edges, but it can't come at the expense of our national security.
To your point, here's what Zelensky said about Republicans who don't want to fund an endless war in another country. Watch this.
Is any candidate or senator who thinks it costs too much for the United States to support Ukraine, is he ready to go to war? To fight, to send his kids? Are they ready to die if Ukraine would lose? If Russia would occupy Ukraine? They will start war with one of the NATO countries. And at this moment, the United States will have to choose the collapse of NATO or go to war.
Go to war? Colonel, your reaction?
with all due respect to the Ukrainian president, that's nonsense. Look, that NATO is not threatened at all by Russia right now. Russia has shown graphically over the last 16 months that their conventional force is barely able to hold on to about 15-17% of its neighboring country. They have no capacity to go into a 31-member NATO force, and everyone knows that out loud. So there's really no threat at all. So if Ukraine and Russia bring their war to any kind of conclusion, there is no chance that Putin can go towards us. So our security is not threatened, and our country should not go to war against Russia. We shouldn't even be thinking about that. So I respectfully disagree with the Ukrainian president on that one.
Colonel Davis, well said, and thanks for joining me on The Angle. Appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.